In this video, we'll go over how to set up your gift giving and pledging within MyRealm. So let's get started. When you first log in, you'll likely start here in your newsfeed. So to get to the giving area, we click on it in the left navigation menu. Here, we'll see a screen similar to this where we can choose to give a gift or make a pledge. Let's start with giving a gift by clicking on it. We are then taken to a screen like this where we can start our gift. In the top left, we can click and type in the amount we want to give. In the left, we have options to which fund we'd like to give to, and the options here may be different than what we see in MyRealm. When I click Missions, a memo field pops up. When I click on it, we see three types of missions to choose from in this example. The point here is that when we choose our fund, different options may pop up depending on that fund. We can also add a different amount to a different fund using the button labeled Another Fund. So let's click on that. That brings up another line where we can have a different amount for a different fund. If we mess up, we can always hit the X to the right to remove it. The default here is set to be a one-time gift. We can see that the box Give Once is highlighted and the gift date is set to today. If we want this gift to happen later, we can click on Today to bring up a calendar. The arrows by the month will let us pick the right month, and then we click on the day we want. Now, we just need to add our email and click Continue to go to the next part. Before doing that though, we may want this to be a recurring gift. For that, let's click Give Multiple Times. That brings up the list of choices for how often we'd like to give. Depending on which one we choose, we may see different choices pop up. When I choose twice a month, we see a couple of options come up for the days of the month to give on. It automatically puts in the 1st and 15th, but we could use the drop-down arrows to change that. If we click Continue from here, it will assume we want to do this forever, and maybe that's not the case. To set up an end date, let's click the Add In button. That brings up a couple of new fields. When we click on the word date, it brings up an option to choose between date or number of times. Let's click on date to keep that. Now when we click on the end date field, it brings up another calendar to pick a date from. Alternatively, we could have switched to the number of times, and instead of a date, we'd type in a number. Here I typed in 24, but whether this is a one-time gift or we're giving multiple times, once it looks good, we're going to click Continue. And that will take us to the next section where we get to choose our payment method. And there are a couple options. The first one is to use a credit or debit card, and we can see that section highlighted at the top. Here we can see all the details to fill in, so if we want to use this method, we probably want to have our card handy. At the bottom, we can see a couple of options. The first one will save our card information, so we don't have to type it in again in the future. The other option will add processing costs to our give, so we would cover those instead of the church. Instead of credit card or debit card, the other option is to give through our bank account, so let's click that. For this type of giving, we need to know our bank's routing number and the account number we want to give from. There are also fields for name, billing address, and the same two options we saw before. Once the info is added and we're good with the options, we can hit the Give button in the bottom right. When I did this, a test came up to prove I was a human. In this one, it asked me to select all the images with motorcycles, so that's what I did. Some aren't as obvious as others, but if you mess up, another test will pop up. If it's good, when you hit Verify, it will go through and our giving will be set up. Now, let's discuss how to set up pledges in MyRealm. Going back to the giving area in MyRealm, by clicking on Giving in the left navigation menu, we will now select the Pledge button. In this example, we see an option for 2 campaigns, but when MyRealm goes live, our pledge campaign will be for the annual budget and go from January 1st through December 31st. But that may change in the future. For now, we'll click General Fund. Here, we see a screen like the one we saw for gift giving, and we have options to pledge as we can, or we can set a schedule. Clicking in the upper left, we can type in the amount we want to give. Since we want to set this up to happen every 3 months, we click that field. We also want this pledge to happen during specific dates, so we click on the calendar icons to choose those dates. When we're good with it, we click Save Pledge. When that happens, we'll get a confirmation that our pledge did go through, and we'll get an email. Let's close this by clicking Finish. Now, when we go back to the giving area in MyRealm by clicking on it in the left navigation menu, we can see our updated pledges to the right. Lastly, here is an example of the type of email we can expect to get whenever we make pledges and gifts. To recap, we talked about how to get to the giving area in MyRealm, how to set up a one-time gift or pledge, and a recurring gift or pledge, and how to use your credit, debit card, or bank account. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call the church office at 262-242-1670 or email us at info@crossroadspres.org. Have a blessed day.